Hello everyone and welcome to the Erik Bryant Show. This is part 2 of episode 12, and as always, well, not as always, but as for most of the time here lately, I got one of my little co-hosts with me. Look, he's ready for football. He's got his football pacifier in his mouth. Talk about wrestling, finish up on some news and notes. It was first reported that Bully Ray was going to re-sign with TNA, but now talks are that he might not, or that he might be done with the company soon when his contract runs out. I believe his contract's running out sometime in October, and not only Bully Ray, but Devon is also supposed to come to the end of his contract. And of course, as always, rumors are going about that if they don't get re-signed by TNA, that they would be headed back to the WWE to possibly reform the Dudley Boys. Which, honestly, in my opinion, I hope that does not happen, because I like the whole Bully Ray character, and I like Devon better now in TNA than in WWE. I like the guys as singles wrestlers. I think they are two prime examples of how TNA took former WWE talent and actually put them into their own little program, let them do what they needed to do and wanted to do, and actually improved them and made them better. I mean, if you were a fan of the old ECW, remember how big Bully Ray was, how clumsy he looked and everything, and now look at him. He's got a nice build, a good look. His character is great. His mic skills have improved a whole lot, and Devon not really great on the mic, but Devon still is better than he was in WWE, ECW, or any other time. So I believe that both of those guys would benefit more by actually staying in TNA, than they would by leaving. Instead of going through Impacts and Smackdowns and Raws from 2 or 3 weeks ago, I just summarized with the TNA the last couple shows. They've been focusing on their Bound for Glory series. No Surrender, their next pay-per-view, is going to be the time when we find out who wins the BFG series and goes on to Bound for Glory to wrestle the champion, which will probably still be Austin Aries at that time. Let's see, the Aces and Eights, basically that's the main focus. They injured Austin Aries this past Thursday night by slamming a chair into the wrist while they had a steel barricade in the ring. They used the numbers game, which is funny because Aces and Eights started out being 2 guys, then it was 5, then 8, and Thursday night they had about 30 guys. So I don't know what's going on there. Hello, my man. And the women's division, I said TNA. First of all, TNA to me has improved a lot the past few months over what it was before, but they still have a few very dumb, in my opinion, storylines. One at the top that's a very dumb storyline is Madison Rayne revealing that her crush is Earl Hebner. Kissing Earl with tongue on TV, not something I want to see. She's obviously using Earl to win matches because she clearly had matches where her shoulder was down. Earl made the count and said she won. This also happened when he wasn't trying to screw Brooke Tessmacher at the last pay-per-view, but it happened, and Madison Rayne is the champion. Also, something that could be potential storyline that I would also call, my other co-host, that I would also call another dumb storyline, is rumors are floating around that at Bound for Glory, Madison Rayne will defend her knockout title against Brooke Hogan. Hopefully it won't happen, but if it does, then you're more than likely going to get 2 Hogans on that card, because everybody knows that Hulk Hogan and Sting are going to team up to face some kind of form of the Aces and Eights. It might not be a tag match, it might be 6-man, 8-man, 10-man, whatever, but you know Hogan and Sting, both decrepit souls, will be in that ring at Bound for Glory, their biggest draw, their biggest pay-per-view. And that is also when Sting goes into their Hall of Fame. And he's going to be inducted by none other than Christian, who is going to be there again because of the whole deal letting Ric Flair go to the WWE for the Horseman Hall of Fame induction. And you gotta feel sorry for Christian. I've never been and never will be a Christian fan, but you kind of have to say, wow, how did he get roped into that thing having to go to TNA? I know he was a former TNA wrestler, former champion, but still kind of a raw deal for you, Christian. Feel sorry for you, pal. Not really. Let's see what else is going on. TNA, they're going to continue on to the topic of TNA. They're going to continue their live shows at least through September 27th. TNA has also partnered with Twitter to become the first wrestling company to stream live to their own page. And I mean, I guess that's good. They're trying to get onto the whole social media wagon like WWE with the tout, the Twitter, the twat, the Skype, the Scalp, the Facebook, the chess book, and all the other stuff that's coming out. It's crazy. Chris Masters, staying on TNA, says that it's up to TNA whether or not he works for them. The ball's in his court. And the ball's in their court, rather, and it was an interview that was conducted for a wrestling radio show. He also said that you can take this any way you want. Inside jokes are getting ready for this one, but Chris Masters said that John Cena works stiff. Ken Doane said that too. But anyway, WWE, well, this is old news. I'm gonna say WWE launching a new Saturday show. They've launched it, and it came on Saturday Morning Slam. I actually watched it with my boys. It's definitely for children. They teach you how to do the Brodus Clay dance. They have Santino on commentary, which was terrible, and they also have made a special rule for the Saturday Morning Slam because it's for children that there's no head and neck holds can be used. Those are banned because they don't want children to try and imitate the WWE stars, which is why if you did watch Saturday Morning Slam before the match came on, after the commercial, Daniel Bryan was sitting in like the studio and he did the "don't try this at home" thing. So they're trying to get kids not to try it at home. Let's see, SmackDown lately has basically been a big Alberto Del Rio Sheamus thing going back and forth. Randy Orton's back, woohoo. Eve is now Booker T's assistant.
Seriously?
Jinder Mahal finally had his match with Ryback and got crushed. Big surprise. Antonio Cesaro finally, Antonio Cesaro is the United States champion, so we finally have an entertaining one of those, and a guy, I would say a guy that can actually wrestle, but through all the comedy and BS, Santino's not that bad of a wrestler. They just made him stupid. Oh, and also, speaking of this whole TNA is doing good, but they got stupid gimmicks. The Cobra gimmick with the arm, he can't control his hand, and his hand likes Oksana. Very dumb. I'm sensing more and more by the day. Probably I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna call this at Night of Champions. That's when Dolph Ziggler's gonna cash in the Money in the Bank and become the money. If it doesn't happen, they might do a Daniel Bryan type scenario from last year and wait till like December. But I'm thinking Night of Champions because I think you keep giving Del Rio title shots at Sheamus. I think Del Rio's going to finally win. And then I actually hope, honestly, that when Del Rio finally does take the belt, then he'll lose it like in 10 seconds and Ziggler will cash in. Even though it's heel, it doesn't really matter. I like to see Dolph take it from Del Rio. I'd rather see him take it off Del Rio than Sheamus. Even though it might not happen because they're kind of, it seems like they're sort of, the last SmackDown are sort of building a whole Sheamus Orton thing, which I don't want to see, but whatever. Raw lately has been, it was a build up for SummerSlam for the Punk Cena show thing, which I'm glad Cena or Punk retained the title at SummerSlam, which, you know, to me was a good call. Keep him the champion. I'd rather see him the champ any day over Cena, isn't that right? The shock of the night at SummerSlam was, of course, Triple H tapping to Brock Lesnar. They're talking about a possible rematch being at first at Survivor Series. Now it's going to be probably at Hell in a Cell. If it's a Hell in a Cell match, which you know it will be if it's at that pay-per-view, Triple H is going to win that one because he's like, even though that's Taker's match, Triple H is the master, the king of kings at Hell in a Cell. He's won 8 of them. He's probably booked all 8 of them, but he's won 8 Hell in a Cell matches. Also, I say good news, in my opinion. Brock Lesnar will more than likely, for all you Brock haters, kiss it, because he's more than likely reported right now because of the SummerSlam buy rate, which he was the main guy on the poster. So they're saying this is because of him. Brock Lesnar reportedly more than likely will get a contract offer extension past WrestleMania 29. Good, just stay there, Brock. You're not a UFC fighter anymore. And you dissed UFC, so hey. But when you left WWE, you dissed them too. Who cares? You're still aces in my book, buddy. Let's see. What else is happening on Raw? AJ, I hate to say this because I love AJ, but as a GM, you're disappointing me, sweetheart. You're not doing anything. You're coming out, skipping and hopping, making matches, but I like the crazy chick character better that was on Raw. Now Daniel Bryan's supposed to be the crazy one. I don't like it. It's not working for me. What else is happening on Raw? Shawn Michaels got beat up by Brock. Wow. That was a, I didn't know that was going to happen moment. It's scripted. Yes. Because if it was real, Brock Lesnar tells you, I'm going to see you before SummerSlam, and, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show up next week to, dumb. But I love you, Shawn, but that was stupid. Anyway, you kind of got what you deserve, pal. I like Shawn, though. Yeah, I know, right? My son's laughing because Shawn's, I don't know. Also, one last thing for the Raw thing. CM Punk at the end of Raw, I had to watch it because I fell asleep. I watched it on YouTube. I clapped. He kicked Jerry Lawler in the back of the head. Now I'm finding out that I shouldn't have clapped because I read that that's probably going to lead to a match between the two tonight. Anyway, and Punk better win. Also, the Shawn, this was a couple weeks ago. I'm kind of mad because I feel cheated. The Shawn Michaels Appreciation Night, on every commercial, the live audience saw clips of Shawn's history. And at the end of the show that we didn't get to see, Cena came out, hugged him. Triple H came out, emotional, crying, blah, blah. CM Punk came out. He told him that he was the main reason why he's in the business. Shook his hand, hugged him. Vince McMahon come out and told Shawn he loved him. Yeah, he does. And the locker room came out. Why didn't they end the shit? Bye-bye, not yet. Why didn't they end the show like this? Because that, if I remember correctly, that show ended with like a Cena Big Show main event. Who cares? And then Undertaker came out. Finally, Taker shakes his hand, hugs him. I'd rather have seen that. And then John Laurinaitis came out, got super kicked. Vince McMahon and Triple H threw him back in the ring. He got super kicked again. I'd rather have seen that. Well, that's going to end the episode. I got about 10 seconds, so I'm going to see you on episode 13. See you later. Hope Raw's good tonight.